When Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a mountain and was transfigured before them, Matthew 17 says his face shone like the sun, and his clothes were as white as light. Some of Jesus' true glory was being revealed. During the transfiguration, Moses and Elijah, who were long since dead, appeared next to Jesus and spoke with him. This amazed the disciples. Why were Moses and Elijah chosen to appear with Jesus on the mountain? What was the significance of them being there? They had already died long ago, and so would have met Jesus in heaven already. Therefore, this was not their first meeting. It seems that there was some benefit to having the disciples actually witness Moses and Elijah interacting with Jesus. Many commentators rightfully make a connection between Moses and Elijah and Jesus' repeated references to the law and the prophets. The law, the first 5 books of the Bible, attributed to Moses, and the prophets, of whom Elijah is the preeminent representative, both point to Jesus' coming and purpose. Jesus says in Matthew 5:17, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." It also says in Luke 24:27, on the road to Emmaus, "And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself." Moses and Elijah were acting as representatives of the law and the prophets. Their presence on the Mount of Transfiguration was a public endorsement of Jesus' authenticity as the promised Messiah. In addition to this, Moses and Elijah had the special privilege of being the only 2 people to have personally encountered God on Mount Sinai years before. Moses' encounter is well known in Exodus 33. When Moses asks to see God's glory, God hides Moses in a cleft of the rock and allows a part of his goodness to pass before Moses and proclaims his glory. Later on, Elijah is taken to the same Mount Sinai after despairing at Israel's apostasy in 1 Kings 19. A mighty whirlwind, earthquake, and fire pass by before God speaks to Elijah in a still, small voice, offering comfort and guidance. You see, in one sense, Moses and Elijah might be the 2 best earthly witnesses of who God really is. From their incredible sacrifice and ministries, their lifelong devotion to God, their positions of leadership, and, not least, their intimate, incredible encounters with the one true living God on Mount Sinai. On the Mount of Transfiguration, their presence is an endorsement of Jesus Christ as the one and only Son of God, the Messiah promised in the law and the prophets. They are witnesses echoing God the Father's words to Jesus' disciples when he declared, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." Of all the people who had ever lived, Moses and Elijah are perhaps the most authoritative witnesses to the true God, a fact consummated with their personal encounter with him at Mount Sinai. They knew God better than most. Their bodily appearance at the Mount of Transfiguration would have sent a clear message to the disciples. We know who God is, and we are here so that you can know with certainty that Jesus is the one. Remember, don't just take my word for it. Study God's word for yourself.